That's fine.
Hey, Austin, it's so nice to see you again.
It's great to see you too.
So tell me a little bit about what's going on.
So I've been having just some increased anxiety, just some thoughts and some feelings. I'm nearing graduation, and I gotta start looking for a job. So it'll be my first big job, out of school. I've held part-time jobs in the past, but other than that, I've been in school since I was young. So it's gonna be a big transition.
This is a huge transition for you. So are your thoughts, your stress associated with the transition, getting a job?
Yes.
So what do you hope for coming out of our meeting?
Really, I'd hope for just, my anxiety to decrease and maybe to get some coping skills to help me decrease my anxiety and just to feel better about graduating and more confident.
Okay, so after we leave this meeting, you hope to have maybe some skills in your back pocket to help with your anxiety, feel a little more confident about graduating.
Yeah.
So thinking about reducing your anxiety, what do you feel like would be different in your life if you're able to get rid of this anxiety or reduce it?
I feel like if my anxiety was reduced, I could focus more. Like, 'cause right now, my last semester of school, so my anxiety is taken away from me being able to be fully committed to my classes. And so I felt like if my anxiety was reduced, I could focus more on the school and also job placement.
Okay, so you feel like your anxiety has your mind sort of all different kinds of ways, and you're
absolutely.
not able to focus in one area.
Absolutely.
How does the lack of focus impact you as a student, impact how you're thinking about your future?
I'm usually, I try to stay ahead of schedule. But this anxiety has really caused me to, procrastinate some and to, put stuff off that I know I can do, but I just don't really have any motivation to do because the anxiety is so great.
That's totally understandable. I think I struggle in the same ways. So let's think about your goal, which it sounds like having less anxiety so you can go get closer towards getting a job, graduating, feeling more confident about that.
Right.
Let's put that on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you feel like you already are in meeting that goal? 10 being you've got the job, you feel confident, you graduated, and 1, just absolutely starting from the beginning.
I would say I'm probably in the middle out of 5.
Out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you feel like you're already doing where you've been able to reach the 5?
So I'm still doing my schoolwork, so I'm turning my assignments, I'm working towards graduation. That's still a priority, and I began to look at possible job opportunities within the area. Went to a career fair this past week, so I got some possible placements to contact.
That's awesome. Good for you.
So,
sounds like you are being proactive about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
And keeping that in mind, would you be okay with doing an exercise that we'll have you writing down sort of what's been working, we'll look at what's not been working, and having this as a plan that you can take with you after our meeting, so you know what you should continue to do, because it sounds like you already have a good idea of how getting to the middle on the scale. You already have a good idea of what's gotten you there.
Right.
Would you be okay doing that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we call it a 4-square tool, and I'm actually going to have you draw me a box.
Oh.
Try and get nice and creative in here. I don't know if you've ever played Foursquare as a kid, but it's going to be similar in that kind of setup where you play Foursquare on every set.
It's been several years, but yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes.
So this will be a refresher. So now taking this box, I want you to separate it into 4 equal size boxes. Okay, so up here I want you to label what's working.
Okay.
To the side you can put things that are low workability, so maybe the things that haven't been working as well. And on this axis you can put like this will be private behavior, so this will be things that you're doing on the inside, and this will be public behavior, so stuff that you are actively doing that other people can notice.
Okay. Like that?
That's perfect. So let's list in this first box the things that are working that are maybe the things that other people can see. So like attending this career fair.
Okay.
That was, like you said, something that pushed you more towards that 5 on your scale goal.
So like career fair, like you said, attending class.
Yeah, if you feel like that is what's working for you, going to class consistently.
Okay. Career class.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What else do you feel like's been working, helping you get towards this 5 and hopefully past this 5? What would you like to see yourself doing more of?
Do more of. I'd like to see myself reach out to more agencies. I think right now, where I don't have my degree yet, I'm not really quite sure what I'm capable of doing upon graduation. So I think just reaching out and contacting different agencies to see if I'm even eligible to apply to any jobs would maybe help me get a better idea of what I qualify for as far as employment.
I think that's a really good plan because I think that will align with boosting your confidence.
Okay.
Sometimes confidence can come from lack of awareness of knowing, what's expected of you. I like that. So I think if you feel comfortable putting that down as something that would work, as far as the public stuff. So again, what people can see, you can put that in there.
Here, okay.
So maybe agency outreach.
Perfect.
Okay. Can you think of one other public behavior that you feel like will help you work towards getting closer to a 10?
I think peer support.
Peer support, you found that's helpful?
Yeah, so, doing homework with my classmates, staying in that group helps me to stay motivated to work towards graduation.
So having out, external peer support for that motivation piece and support, I like that.
Okay.
So what about those private behaviors? We haven't really talked about that, but thinking about being at a 5, what have you done internally, or what have people not really seen that you feel like's been helpful in meeting your goal?
Maybe the late nights by myself doing homework. So consistently making sure I'm getting my assignments turned in and stay on top of my homework, I think, has been helping me stay at a 5 and hopefully increase.
Okay. So do you feel comfortable putting that down?
Yes.
Something you'll continue to do?
Okay.
Is there any other kind of private behaviors you can think of? Anything that maybe in the past that is even outside of school but boosted your confidence?
In private? I'm trying to think.
Like some of my clients do some positive self-talk, or they'll try and replace maybe irrational thoughts with something a little more realistic. That's more towards boosting that confidence, but even with anxiety, that could look like deep breathing.
So more like, I feel like self-care, so
exactly.
taking breaks, pacing myself could maybe help me to stay on track but not overdo myself.
Yeah, I think that if you found that that's worked for you in the past, I think that would be very appropriate to put in that box.
Okay.
So what do you feel like you're doing right now that may not be working for you? What's something you've tried out and you're like, or you're doing currently where you're just like, it's causing more stress, or it's...
I think the procrastination could definitely go in there. So
with the procrastination piece, do you feel like that's been a way you've managed some anxiety?
I think so. Yeah, putting it off. It's helped manage some anxiety, but ultimately you can only procrastinate so much before you have to end up doing it. But I feel like that's something I've been doing that may work in the beginning, but in the end it's not been working because it's caused me to fall behind.
Gotcha. So it's helped manage a little bit of anxiety, but the cost has not been enough to outweigh that.
Correct.
I think that would be perfect to put that down in either one of those boxes.
Yeah, I think they go from both.
But that makes sense. I mean, most of the things we do are, is our way to survive and our way to cope with different things. And it's great that you're understanding this may not be the thing that's working for you, though.
Yeah, I don't think it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it'd be easier if it was. It's definitely an easy answer.
It is.
Sometimes in the moment, the answer you're looking for.
Put it off.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm guilty of that too. What else do you feel like's not been working?
Public not working. I think as far
And again, you don't even have to think about anything really currently, but even in your past, if you've learned, hey, this may not be something that's got me the results I was looking for.
I think something for private I can think of is lack of sleep. So sometimes I stay up really late at night doing my homework, which is good, but then the next day I suffer because I have like a full 8-hour work day and then 3 hours of class, and so my job suffers, and then I'm not as attentive in class, so I feel like pushing myself that much at night and trying to work towards that 10 may not be as beneficial as I may feel like it is. So
again, I could definitely agree with that. And that brings up, while you're writing that down, something I'm a little curious about with the things that are working in the private behaviors box, because it sounds like doing homework late at night in a way is helpful.
Yes.
So what compromise do you see between those two? So making sure you have that time to do homework, and it sounds like maybe doing it late at night is helpful, keeping you on track, but then you don't want to risk the sleep.
I think setting like a time where I put everything away. So maybe like 11 o'clock, I'm still working at night, but I'm not working till like 1 in the morning. So I set that boundary there. So I get enough homework done, and then I also get sufficient sleep the next day.
Okay. So knowing that now you have a good cutoff time, about 11 o'clock will ensure that you get that full 8 hours. What time do you think you need to start? So you feel like you have enough time to tackle what's on your list and what's on the stuff you need to study.
Start in the evening, you mean? It differs per night, because some nights I don't have class and some I do. But I feel like most nights I spend an average of 2.5, 3 hours on homework. So maybe start by 8, 8:30. So
I think that, would you be comfortable putting that on your plan, doing the 8 to 11 kind of schedule, 8:30 schedule?
Absolutely.
So seeing this list of stuff that works, do you feel like it's realistic to ask you to do some more of these kinds of behaviors? Sort of like what you just did, trying to confirm a good time frame of when you should study. And so trying to consistently do that.
Yes.
If you were to do that, where do you think? So you're at a 5 right now. Say you're to do this plan, doing the outreach with the agencies and having time to study, but not risking your sleep. Where do you feel like you would be here at, looking at graduation? Where do you think you'd be at your scale?
I think if I could stick to this plan, I feel like I would be probably closer to an 8 to an 8.5.
What are your feelings on that? What are you thinking? Being an 8, 8.5 at graduation.
I want to be. I think it's healthy, and because school's approaching to an end. I need to get a job soon, so if I'm closer to that 10 mark, then I feel like I'm going to be more apt to be able to find a job and be more engaged with the job and finish my school and just get through everything if I'm more active. So getting to that 8 is definitely a goal.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure we weren't leaving with you wanting to be at a 10 and this not being quite the plan that would help you get to a 10. So if you feel comfortable that this will lead you to that 8.5 mark, I think that is a really good starting place. So
I feel like though a 10 would be the best, but I feel like this plan is good to get me started, to get me to the point of being an 8, and then from there, if I achieve the 8, then I can work my way more up to a 10.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to kind of start out maybe steps.
Yeah, I think steps, especially if that works for you to keep doing that.
Right.
So between now and the next time we see each other, would it be okay for you to look for these changes and come back with me about the changes you've noticed in doing this plan? Or maybe even now that you know to look for things that work, looking at maybe getting closer to a 10, it would be helpful to find more things that work. So between now and next time we see each other, do you think you could look for those changes and what's working?
Yeah, and I could probably, make a list too if you want me to. That way I could keep track of it and then bring it back in, and we could discuss what's worked and what not has worked, and maybe adjust this a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that sounds perfect.
Okay.
So I will see you here in about 2 weeks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's see what time we're at.